Alrighty, so this video is going to be of me making some patterns, uh, mostly just of different tails I'm going to be making. I make all of my patterns myself, and here I am doing a husky tail, and I'm using a husky tail I made before as a reference because I want to remake the pattern but make it bigger. I no longer have the pattern for it either, so I just kind of have to look at the actual tail and make it. So, I always start out just working with printer paper, which is what I'm tracing right here. It's just easier, and that way you're not wasting poster board. So you just kind of like draw it how you want it over and over until you have it the way you want it. Then you cut it out and trace it onto poster board. I'm actually making this tail pattern larger than I did my paper pattern, which isn't as easy than if I would have just made the paper pattern the size I wanted. So definitely recommend getting your paper pattern the way you want. And the reason why I transfer my paper patterns onto poster board is because poster board lasts longer. I can reuse it. Paper just crinkles and it's going to get messy. It's not going to lay down right, and you're going to have a hard time tracing it. It's not bad for like a one-time use thing, but I plan on reusing this pattern. Alright, so I'll cut it out a little bit, so hopefully this works this time. I'm just continuing to work on the husky pattern. After I cut them out, I tend to go back over them, kind of round out spots. On husky tails, you want them to be totally round. So I'm just making sure it is as round as I want it to be. And you can do that with any tail, just after you get it cut out. If you see something you're not quite liking, go ahead and trim off whatever you don't like. And then right here, I'm measuring the tail pattern. You really don't need to do that. I just do it as a reference, so you can look at the pattern and be like, oh, okay, this is the size tail. Even though when I trace it onto fur and actually make it, it's going to be a different size. Because that's something to keep in mind, is that when you make your patterns, you're not actually just making a side view of the tail, you are also making part of the bottom and part of the top. It's going to wrap around a little bit. So they're going to be a little bit skinnier, and maybe even a little bit shorter, but not by much. So here, I'm just tracing my fox and canine tail, which is a medium length tail. I consider my huskies being medium length, at least in that price category, because they take just as much time and work that my medium tails do, rather than the small tail. So I'm just cutting it out. And I always label my patterns too, as you can see that I did. That way I know what I call that pattern, what I would reference it to. I really don't need to, but it just helps me at a quick glance. I can just grab it and know which one it is. Okay, so that one's done. And I'm getting ready to start with my large tails. This is supposed to be a big fluffy tail, and we'll make it bigger than the paper pattern again, which would have been easier if I just made the paper big enough. You see I cut the corner of that poster board out, and I'm taping it towards the top, just because the poster board isn't long enough. I know I'm not going to use that corner. I'm also taping the poster board on the back side of what the pattern is going to be, just because when you draw over tape, it doesn't stick, it tends to wipe off. So I tape it across the back, and then I draw my pattern, and then I'll tape across the front after I've already drawn. So, tracing this one now, and you see I'm following the paper pattern pretty much just as it is on the top. But then when I go around to the bottom, I'm staying probably about an inch away in some places, or a little bit more in other places towards the bottom. Just because I want it to be a really fluffy tail. At least towards the bottom anyway. And then I'm just kind of evening it out. I have like random spots that didn't quite seem right. So, and then right here, I'm just changing the end, because it can be either a feline tail or a canine tail, which felines tend to have rounded tails, and canines tend to have pointed, so. Alright, so I'm just taping over the front now, and cutting it out. The bigger tails like this are a little trickier to cut out. At least with my scissors. Maybe different with smaller ones. Nice, that's about done. And I'll go on and show them all in better lighting. So these were the paper patterns. And then up there are the new patterns that I just made. So this was like the dog and fox tail. And the husky tail. And the cat tail, I didn't show this in that last part, but it's in two pieces. That way you can add different lengths because the middle part's just straight. So, then there's the deer bunny tail above that. And then the fluffy tail. So those were all my paper ones I started out with. You can see there's like lines everywhere and such. So on the poster board ones, I don't have that. It's easier to look at and visualize. And it's going to last longer. I'm not going to ruin it as quickly like I would paper. So there's the fox and dog tail, husky tail, and Felina. And the cat tail, and I have it spaced out to show, like, it can be any length that I want it to be pretty much, unless it's like, because it doesn't curled in, I wouldn't want it to be kind that drags the ground. And then here I'm just, these are paper patterns I haven't transferred yet to poster board yet because I'm not finished with them. This is supposed to be toes for a foot paw. The paw pads on all these are just like for me to reference to get a better idea. They're not the actual shapes and such that will actually be on paws. It's just to help me visualize. So this is a 4-fingered hand paw, and then on the feet paws they're like pretty much always 4 toes. Hand paws are either 4 or 5, but it could be any number really. And here is a 5-finger one, another hand paw. And I think I'll just show in the foot one a little better. So yeah,